keep trying to fix yourself, don't you? But what if healing isn't about fixing anything at all? You've been fighting so hard to mend what's broken inside you, to glue the shattered pieces back together. But what if healing isn't about fixing? What if it's about loving those broken parts enough to let them breathe? Healing is not a race or a checklist to complete. It's a quiet process of learning to sit with your pain, to let the raw edges of your wounds soften over time. Instead of rushing to feel better, give yourself the grace to be where you are. You don't have to have it all figured out right now. When you stop trying to fix every flaw and start accepting your imperfections as part of your growth, that's where the real healing happens. It's in the pauses, the deep breaths, and the moments of self-compassion. You don't need to be fixed. You need to be patient with yourself. You see, the thing about people who haven't been loved much is that they think about every kind gesture, the slightest touch of fingers, kind smiles, and random acts of love. They find intimacy in every small thing done. They find that love wherever they can, because it was never given to them freely. They don't ask for love. They search for it everywhere. Sometimes we aren't meant to get over someone, and we go on living a little bit emptier. That's the lesson of life, isn't it? It gives us one person who both shows us that true love exists and that fairy tales don't. There are plenty of ways to die, but only love can kill and keep you alive to feel it. The best relationship is the one where yesterday's fight doesn't stop today's communication. Instead of staying angry and bottling it up inside, you choose to listen, understand each other's feelings, and solve the problem together. Disagreements will happen, but they shouldn't create a wall between you. Being willing to fix things instead of holding on to anger shows that you truly care about each other and want your relationship to grow stronger. God doesn't give you the people you want. He gives you the people you need to help you, to hurt you, to leave you, to love you, to break you down, to build you up, and to make you the person you were meant to be. You should forgive every single person that's ever wronged you, because the only person who feels the pain of resentment is the one who holds it. You think you somehow have a hold on them by choosing not to forgive. But the reality is the lack of forgiveness is what has a hold on you. You think you're putting them into their place, but it's really just keeping you in the same place. And you wonder why, after all these years, you still haven't moved on. Forgive. Maybe not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve peace. Someone once said, "Don't leave anything for later." Later, people grow older. Later, words go unsaid. Later, you lose interest. Later, opportunities slip away. Later, the day turns into night. Later, you regret not doing something. Later, life goes by and you had the chance. The greatest lesson I've learned in life is that letting go of something or someone is the truest form of love. There's a saying that people often use, and it goes like this: if you love someone, let them go. And if it was truly meant to be, they will come back to you. Now, while this saying may sound contradictory or even backwards to a lot of people going through these harsh feelings or heavy emotions, it actually is the most important and truthful thing to do. Because if you truly love somebody and you truly care for them, you want the best for them. Sometimes the best for somebody is not being with you. And sometimes the best for you is not being with somebody or not having something, regardless of how much it made your life better. Sometimes you have to learn that the best thing for both parties is to let go and just detach. So if you're going through anything, just try to let go. Listen to these words very carefully. The path you've chosen is going to be a difficult one. Your new life is going to cost you your old one. It's going to cost you your comfort zone and your sense of direction. It's going to cost your relationships and friends. It's going to cost you being liked and understood. But that doesn't matter. The people who are meant for you are going to meet you on the other side. You're going to build a new comfort zone around the things that actually move you forward. Instead of being liked, you're going to be loved. Instead of being understood, you're going to be seen. All you're going to lose is what was built for a person you no longer are. Remaining attached to a life you're unhappy with is the greatest act of self-sabotage, and releasing it is something you must be prepared for in order to truly see real change. There are only 4 types of people in this world. The first type is, I win, you lose. These people believe that life is a struggle, and that the winner is the one who crushes all opposition. They aim to achieve their goals at the expense of others, and do not care about their feelings or needs. The second type is, I lose, you win. These people are overly kind and prefer to give up their own goals to please others. They do not believe in conflict and feel comfortable when others succeed, even if it means they will lose. The third type is, I lose, you lose. These people are the most bitter, believing that life is a struggle they cannot win. Therefore, they try to harm others and take revenge. They find pleasure in the failure of others, even if it means they will fail too. The fourth type is, I win, you win. These people are the most cooperative. They believe that life is a partnership from which everyone can benefit. They seek to find solutions that satisfy all parties. Have you ever noticed that after a breakup, the loyal one often stays single until they heal, while the cheater is already in another relationship? The loyal one is completely invested, and that's why when it's over, it takes them time to heal and grow. They don't just jump into another relationship because they are emotionally exhausted and need time to be alone. Cheaters, on the other hand, often need multiple partners to feed their ego. So they usually have someone else lined up to replace you as soon as the relationship goes bad. When I was a child, my mother liked to make breakfast and dinner. I remember one day my mum placed a plate of eggs, sausages, and extremely burnt biscuits in front of my father. I watched him smear butter and jelly on that biscuit and eat every bite. As I got up from the table, I heard my mum apologize to my dad for burning the biscuits. I'll never forget what he said. Honey, I love burnt biscuits. Later that night, when I went to kiss Dad goodnight, I asked him if he really liked his biscuits burnt. He wrapped me in his arms and said, Your mum had a hard day at work today and she's tired. And besides, a little burnt biscuit never hurt anyone. Life is full of imperfect things and imperfect people. I'm not the best at hardly anything. And I forget birthdays and anniversaries, just like everyone else. But what I've learned over the years is that learning to accept each other's faults and choosing to celebrate each other's differences is one of the most important keys to creating a healthy, growing, and lasting relationship. There are only 2 people in this world that you need to make proud. It's not your mum, it's not your dad, not your husband, not your wife, not your kids. It's the 8-year-old version of you and the 80-year-old version of you. If those 2 people are happy with the way you lived your life, it means you did everything right. In 50 years, You'll probably be dead. They'll bury you and sell all your stuff. But your kids will still be around. And their kids too. They won't remember the toys you bought them, or the possessions you left behind. They'll remember you. They'll remember how you made them feel. They'll remember the values you taught them. They'll remember how much you loved them. Chase purpose, not things. Strict parents don't always raise obedient kids. Sometimes they raise broken ones. Kids who hide their cries beneath pillows. Kids who still suffer long after they've grown up. They become adults who struggle to open up, carrying a deep fear of rejection. Unfortunately, people often generalize parenting, thinking that yelling, scolding, and strictness will fix a child's behavior. If that were true, we'd be living in a world full of scholars, sages, and pioneers. Break the cycle. Don't be like them. Understand who your kids truly are. Put in the effort to learn their psychology. Be a friend, more than a parent. All of your relationships will get better when you learn you don't need to react to or fix people's problems. People just want to be heard and accepted. Maturing is realizing that everyone is capable, and your role is to not be anyone else's savior. Not everyone wants to get better, and that's okay. Some people have an identity tied to sickness. Others fear true wellness because it is the unknown, and the unknown is unpredictable. There is comfort in knowing exactly what your life will look like, even if that reality is making you sick. Healing is a daily event. You can't go somewhere to be healed. You must go inward to be healed. This means a daily commitment to doing the work. You are responsible for your healing and will be an active participant in that process. Your level of activity is directly connected to your level of healing. Small and consistent choices are the path to deep transformation. The familiar feels safe. That is, until we teach ourselves that discomfort is temporary and a necessary part of transformation.